Chozen's like, I've been waiting to mess some people up for a minute now. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, KGeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Cobra Kai. We're now on to season 5, episode 2, which is called Molé. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's a little bit of a double entendre because, if you take the accent off of Molé, it's the word mole, and we do have Chozen right now being that very thing, a mole inside of Cobra Kai at the moment. But we'll come back to that. Last episode was our season premiere. I think it was a solid one to introduce us to where we're going to be kind of coming from in this season. I kind of like that they treated this the same way they treated Karate Kid 1 and 2 as far as the movies, as far as not having a massive gap as far as time. It looks like it's maybe a few weeks since the end of the tournament. Miyagi-Do has effectively closed down to the public, which was a choice on Daniel's part because he wants to protect the kids from being harassed in any way by Silver or the students of Cobra Kai. And in the background, however, he has brought Chozen all the way over from Japan and said, listen, you need to help me take this whole, establishment of Cobra Kai down because it's going to just poison the valley and poison karate, etc., etc. And right now, Chozen thought, okay, now that I recognize that this Silver guy is practicing a form of karate that was made by a sensei that he apparently knows about, a South Korean sensei, he's like, okay, I know this way this guy operates, so we're going to go into the belly of the beast and try to defeat him that way. Not so sure how that's going to go, but it makes for an interesting story. And then we've got Johnny. Johnny is headed to Mexico to follow Miguel, who went down there to look for his father. He brought Robbie along with him under the pretenses of it being a father-son road trip, but in the end, of course, Robbie found out the truth. But thankfully, Robbie's not too upset because he really does want to use this time to bond with his dad, and he too, recognizes that there are some things he needs to work out where Miguel is concerned for his own, sake, I think, with all that's gone down. And then we see that Sam, she's really the only kid we focused on other than Miguel this episode, or that episode, I should say. She's still struggling with the loss of, she feels like the whole thing is all her fault as far as Miyagi-Do closing, etc. Of course, we as an audience know that she didn't actually lose the match, but it doesn't change the fact that she feels like she's lost, and that on top of it, she lost to this rival she's had now for the past 3 seasons. But much like Robbie and Miguel, her and Tori probably have a little bit of things they could be working out as well because they definitely started off on the wrong foot, but it could be resolved that they could both kind of at least learn to mutually respect one another. So Miguel is now in Mexico. He's met a man that has the same name as his father. It looks like he might have found a match. We're not quite sure, but we're going to find out by watching this episode, hopefully. So let's jump right in. But before we do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do reactions to shows like this here. So if that's something you're interested in watching me do, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well as a notification bell so you can be notified when I do more reactions. And if you like this video, it would mean so much if you go ahead and show that love to the like button and add some comments below. Let me know what you're thinking, where your thoughts are at. These characters are so engaging and I love hearing what you guys have to say about them. And the same goes for those of you who've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back, and hopefully you'll join the fam if you haven't already. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into episode 2 right about now. Oh, where we at? So loud. I was about to say this. The grain looked to me like it was a flashback.
What you saw?
What's wrong with that? My kid found a hack. He's smart. You got this, Chozen. That actually explains a lot about him, though, because, Cobra Kai in Karate Kid 2, he seemed like an unreasonable jerk.
Is merely a springboard to new heights. That's why I've brought in some of the finest senseis in the valley. Consider this their job interview.
Chozen's frown.
You are a champion.
Yeah. I guess.
Good.
You should stand in it.
Gracias.
Exactly.
It's custom decal.
Well, now you're gonna get your van towed because you should really have used a translation app. They're free on your phone. Wow, this house be okay. Daddy rich. By the way, you owe me a lot of backed up child support, so.
The guy is a real handful.
You ever think of having any more? Or?
Oh no.
Personal question.
He's not mine. He's from her previous marriage. Never had any kid of my own.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, even got married.
Really?
We started talking about having kids.
And then I became a murderer.
I'm going to El Hoyo Verde later.
Okay.
You gotta come out with me. You'll love it.
I mean, is your schedule really that full? I just feel like this whole OU thing is being really stretched here. I mean, you kept the kid from getting hit by a car, yes, but stay in my house, showing you around Mexico, that's a lot.
What about you? Why'd be a sensei?
Honor.
Something you know nothing about.
No one can take honor from you.
Period.
Only you can take honor from yourself.
Oh, my man is grown.
Here, Sensei.
Joichi Tatsuya.
Lies.
Now, like this.
He's like, I recognize this style.
I've always loved the Fushimi Inari Shrine.
Oh.
Too many tourists. Nanzenji Temple. Much better for you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a local. A real local. Look at that. Chozen knows how to schmooze. My boy's got skills outside of just being, you know, a villain.
I think I'll burn a hole right through.
Don't do it.
Mom and I watch Hot Ones on YouTube.
Aww. Johnny, do not do this.
Get back on track.
Dude, you didn't even season your food before you dated. I like this guy. Meh. I have no need for lines. Facial expressions is enough. Oh my god, they ate the whole jar. Oh my boy, you're gonna be pooping fire for at least the next month.
Give me the hottest pepper you got.
Johnny's like, if you die, this is gonna be on me. But I suppose at this point, he's eating that much, he may as well just go for the glory.
You lied to me. He doesn't even know I exist.
I had to. You don't understand how dangerous he is.
He's nothing like what you said he was. You were wrong about him.
You knew this after half a day? Okay.
All of these things I missed out on because of you.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, let's go.
Hey.
Oh, now he's starting to look a little bit more like a sleazy businessman. Why is this man walking like this with the jar? It's in a jar, my friend. You're walking like it's an explosive. It's fine unless you touch it and then rub it in your eye.
Molé. Photo.
Aw, he believes in you, Robbie.
You got this. I bet on you any day of the week.
He needed to hear that. I don't know if karate training gonna help you with this. Japanese folk don't eat that much spice either, but go off. Swallow it, just swallow it, swallow it. That's what he said. See, it wasn't even that bad. Ew. Nasty. Dude, there's a whole panini going on. You can't be spitting things at people. Monkeypox too.
Great. Dinner and drinks at my house. Amber, will you make sure Sensei Joe gets all my info?
Dang. Right into the Cobra's den, huh? I mean, good on you, I guess, but also, I just feel like somewhere down there, Terry's got a torture dungeon. This is what I feel in my soul.
Excited to take things to the next level?
What's the point? You'll just pay to make me champion again.
She went straight to the point.
You're the champion. I know it. The Russo knows it. The whole valley knows it. If you don't believe it, then you're the only person who doesn't.
So what am I supposed to do now? Just go back to normal?
Sam kind of knows, but it's no proof.
I never had to scrape and claw my whole life.
He's like, I'm rich. I don't know what this poor stuff's about. Yeah, he's like, I know how to use money to make the world go round.
If you choose to leave, I won't hold it against you.
But if you tell anyone I paid off this ref.
The decision is yours.
Oh, it's about your honor. Your honor, Tori, or them dollar bills, yo. You're poor and you have a little brother. Go for the dollar bills. I won't even judge you for that, even though I don't really like it that much. I'd understand it. Oh, milk will not help you. Milk is not going to help you.
I didn't.
Look at you cheating. Yeah, no, he's looking way more pimp today than he did yesterday.
This is Vicente. He's the headline fight tonight.
Oh, we got a little UFC going on down here.
I made a lot of money back in the day.
How?
But not in the restaurant business.
How?
Where you make a lot of friends in high places. Enemies too.
Oh, starting to realize your mama wasn't lying, huh?
Too small.
Yeah, you know, I think I have a gray one in my other closet that's a size up. Just let me,
You are nervous, Daniel-san.
Right? Like, you think he was going to dinner with Silver.
We will find his weakness. What pushed him to his limit.
I mean, do you want to do that with him, though? Because Silver's crazy. I mean, you were just kind of a jerk. He crazy.
he got me on his side once. He'll try to do the same thing with you. His plan
Okay,
has an
but you
expiration
know,
date, so just
Daniel,
before.
you kind of allowed yourself to be
Eventually he'll figure
seduced
us
by
out.
Silver. You had a
And when he
different
does-
motive. If you'd really been in the right headspace, he wouldn't have been able to pull you to do anything.
A taste of home. Filleted hamo.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a kimono for me to put on as well while we're here?
I was raised by my uncle. Yeah. My father died when I was young.
What killed him?
Cowardice.
Boot!
I lost a fight.
Yes, you did.
A fight I should have won. Rivalries die slow deaths, especially in Japan.
So true. He's like, my uncle carried a grudge for 45 years.
It's never too late to get the last laugh, right?
Didn't really work out for Chozen. Take off those stupid shirts.
Ellos no tienen jurisdicción aquí, así que manténlos ocupados.
Why would your good dad need to know about FBI jurisdiction?
Who were you on the phone with earlier?
Oh. Wow, all the friendliness is gone.
Hey, what's hey?
Give me your phone.
I got nothing on my phone. I'm in high school.
Don't make me ask again.
What happened to your daddy dearest, Miguel? It's nothing like your mommy said. He didn't even look. Interesting. Really? Oh, now you're
People
fixing.
are not
Okay.
always what they seem. Hmm?
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
You can never be too sure.
Your mother was.
Let's get out of here. Come on.
That would have actually gotten Miguel in trouble. It's probably a good thing they left at that point, because him screaming out Miguel in this situation, in this room, would have been very bad. I spoke too soon. You do know that MMA is mixed martial arts, right? Is that him commentating? White lightning?
Donde está Hector?
Oh, at least he got that sentence right.
This was wielded by Uesugi Kenshin himself.
Really?
The fourth battle of Kawanakajima.
That should probably go back to Japan then, since it's part of their history.
I never had any children.
Thank God.
My
I mean,
only
oh.
legacy is Cobra Kai.
But you stepped away for like 30 years.
Kids all over the world need
No.
to become stronger,
No.
better.
And what is this plan?
Did you pay Starbucks to be able to say that?
Something I might feel comfortable confiding in my right-hand man.
Oh, he's a businessman.
Kari.
Very interesting that even though they're supposed to be on different sides, they have very similar paths. Because if we take it from Chozen's story in Karate Kid 2, you'd think that him and Silver should actually have way more in common. It does also make you wonder if Chozen really is working with Daniel. But we'll see if any of the old Chozen comes bubbling up, being in Silver's presence this much.
Yeah. And then Luis.
Fairly fine. She's only after my money in the first place.
Oh, what happens to true love?
What you don't learn till you get older is that the sun is the government. It's women.
I mean, we are actually pretty bright. It's true, we are stars. If you can't hang, it's because you was too fickle in the first place.
They want you to sleep with one eye open.
This man descended in a matter of hours.
What happened in Ecuador?
Yeah. Why would you ask? No, no, I don't know. Blah, 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 blah.
Success happened.
Miguel, you don't need to know the answers to this, because then he has to kill you.
And you know what I regret?
Do I want to know? I don't think so.
Listen.
Sorry.
I should probably get going, actually.
Oh. You're not timing this well.
All right.
Too easy.
Chicharrón for one.
If he's actually letting you go, my guy, you better run. And it hurts all the more because it's still half your DNA.
Miguel?
Hey, Mom.
Oh, that crow. It's getting stuck in my throat.
I'm sorry.
Thankfully, she loves you. You can come home.
Miguel!
Shh! Johnny, just a little decorum. First of all, it's the middle of the night. Second of all, it's the middle of the night. Johnny looks like such a mess, all toe up. Maybe get in the car because your crazy dad's still in that place. Oh Lord, please don't get childish now, Miguel. His toe up self is all the way down here when he didn't need to be. Let's go.
Nichols, so you've made your decision.
Unsurprising. I'm back. Did he background check you? Did we not think that far ahead? This is either a test or he did a background check, one or the other. Which I feel like he would have done on all these guys.
Chozen.
How did you know?
Google?
About 100 years ago, he moved from Hiroshima.
Monologuing, great. This would be the part where if I were Chozen, I'd be like, I actually don't speak that much English, so can you just get to the point? It's a lie, but he doesn't need to know that.
With one of my old friends from Kyoto, we toast Kanpai.
But you said Kari.
When my new friend from Kyoto raises a glass and says something they would only say
In Okinawa.
in Okinawa.
You slipped. He could have just been like, I prefer it.
Who takes this man down
Gets the job.
gets the job. And I will pay triple what I promised.
Why don't you take me down yourself, Silver? I thought she was the man. Chosen's like, I've been waiting to mess some people up for a minute now. So what are you gonna do if he takes down all of your candidates? Chozen ain't Danielson. Really? You want to lose your arm? Y'all want to keep coming after that? I guess money really is the language of the world, huh? Ooh, that was sexy. Yes. All right, you deserve it if you lose a limb. He's like, don't test me. Chosen's like, I come from the way of the bitch, you know, so I do know how to play like this.
No more senseis. No challenge Miyagi-Do. Do not come near Raruso family.
That's right.
You will beg for mercy.
Ooh, you better tell him, Chosen! Still hot 30 years later. It's like, clean this up. Clean your little candidates up. Silver's turned on, I can tell. It's so creepy. I know he was like, ooh, Chosen kind of fine. Okay, guys. Well, that was episode 2. And we definitely focused more so on, I'd say, Miguel in this episode and his journey. They definitely had the father devolve quickly. I wasn't sure how long they were going to drag this particular thing out. I wouldn't be mad at it if they'd had to go over a couple more episodes and really get Miguel kind of a little bit torn between whether or not he should leave this dad alone or go back to his life in the States, etc. But it looks like they kind of wanted to wrap this up. And I don't know if that was just for filming reasons or if they just, again, it may not be the end of him either. Maybe we're going to see more of the father later, because I can't think that he's just going to forget that this random kid popped up with these Americans who are, you know, looking for him, etc. And again, I have no idea if he actually saw the picture on Miguel's phone of Miguel's mom and grandmother. It looked like he didn't, but, you know, it doesn't take long to glance. You know what I mean? It doesn't take long. It's amazing what the human eye will pick up in very, very short amount of time. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But as far as that goes, I feel bad for Miguel. Obviously, his mom, as I mentioned back in the seasons when he was asking about his father and talking about his father with Daniel, I feel like his mother definitely made a mistake in being so closed off about talking about him outside of the worst points of him. Yes, he might have been a bad man. Yes, he might have been someone that's dangerous for her and Miguel, but that's still his father. Like, that's still 50% of his DNA. And there was something about this man that she clearly fell for on some level. And I think personally, like, I don't have kids, so I mean, this is just all my opinion. But I think that when it comes to a situation where you have a child with somebody who you consider to be dangerous, or someone that you're no longer with, but think your child should also distance himself from, I think it's very important to tell them the truth and be as honest as you can as they get old enough to digest that information, and really also express to them that even though this person is not good for them and maybe not good for, you know, you as a parent, it doesn't mean that they're all bad, because I don't even think Miguel's dad is all bad either. Like, there is something that Carmen clearly fell in love with at some point, and there probably is still some good in this man, but he clearly keeps making poor choices. Like, he's saying that he changed his life since coming to Mexico, but it sounds like he just isn't able to operate the way he would have when he was back in Ecuador. And obviously that's not good. Obviously he's not necessarily turned all the way away from all those life choices, which means he's still not a good person for Miguel to be around. But as I said, it's still his dad, and that's always a very difficult dilemma. Like, you know, you're always going to feel a draw to your parents. And for him, I understand why that hole has been there in his life and that gap is there. And there's still a desire somewhat to know the person who, like we saw, like his dad, the cook, the dad who can be nice and be very kind to this little, to what was his name, Luis. And, you know, there is a charm there. There is an ability to be kind, but there is clearly also some other things that are not so great. And you know, I understand why Miguel would be very mixed right now. Like, his heart is broken, more so because he clearly had built up an idea in his head of what his father might be like and what this interaction could be like. And to have that dream shattered by the harsh reality that he's not the kind of person he probably does want to spend any time with, or not the kind of person he wants to get to know more, or at least more deeply at this point in time, is hurtful. Like, it's our hopes and our ideas of what people can be are usually what get us disappointed in who they really are. And I just think it's so interesting that, you know, he was so mad at his mom. You know, he made that call to Carmen. He's like, oh, you should have told me, why'd you lie to me, blah, blah, blah. And it's true. She lied and she didn't tell him. I feel definitely, like I said, she should have told him that she left before he even knew she was pregnant. Because I'm like, that's kind of huge. You should know that you don't even exist. But at the same time, one thing that, and again, I'm giving Miguel a pass here because he is still very, very young. But one thing that always baffles me is that it's like, yes, Miguel, she didn't tell you. She said all these things, but you've been with her. You've been with her since the day you were born. Every single day of your life, she's been there for you. She's taken care of you. She's loved you. She's made sure you were safe. Like, Miguel, you can tell the way he is as a person that Carmen did a damn good job in raising her by herself. Well, not by herself. I guess his grandmother was there too, but you get my point. Like, he's clearly had a very warm and loving influence around him his whole life. So it's like, even if you're upset about her lying to you, and you know that there was some mistakes that she's made, like, you're really going to nullify everything? Like, you really think that this woman that's raised you for, 17 years, that she would have really just left this man for poops and giggles? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not like they're thriving in America, right? Like, they're living in a very, shall we say, modest apartment in LA. Like, she's working how many jobs trying to keep them afloat? Like, it's been a struggle for her. Why would she go from a man that has all this money and all this comfort she could be enjoying and live this hard life unless there was a real reason with a baby? You know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of things you kind of wish that people would stop and, you know, think about and be like, okay, yeah, my mom might have messed up about this, but she's always treated me well. She's raised me well. Like, I have no reason to, like, discredit everything that she would have told me. Like, it had to be something pretty huge for her to give up this life and this potential to live a hard life in America. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm sure more of that's going to start slowly unfolding for Miguel, but I did feel for him. It sucks to find out that I don't think Carmen wanted to be right about this. I'm sure she would have loved if his father had actually changed and become a better person, but unfortunately he's not that guy, and probably better for Miguel to find out now and be able to at least go home while it's still able to do so safely. But I understand that he's going to probably still have some residual feelings about this. And now that he, you know, seeing Robbie here down with Johnny, hopefully he's not going to get too jealous or feel too possessive, because I know he's going to probably feel a little bit even more possessive over that fatherly figure that Johnny represents now that he doesn't have an alternative option. but hopefully it's not going to be too much going forward. But let's face it, this is Cobra Kai. We do know that him and Robbie are definitely going to butt some heads for a while here. So anyways, I'm just glad that he's safe and that it looks like they're probably on their way back to the States. Other side of things was Chozen infiltrating or trying to infiltrate Cobra Kai. I don't know why they didn't think about the fact that Silver would probably just do a background check on everybody. Like, I'm like, why would you give him a fake name? Like, that's the first thing when he lied. I was like, he probably should have just told him his real name. He probably just should have said his real name and said he was from, Okinawa. I mean, I don't think that Silver would have even thought about linking Chozen to Miyagi based on that alone. But it's like, yeah, the fact that he lied, of course, Silver's going to think, why did he lie? What reason would this man have to lie to me? And then be able to do the math. But it's interesting, as I said in the episode, that as we learn more of, Silver's ideals around why he thinks he's got to keep Cobra Kai alive and why he's doing this expansion, etc., I love that they showed the parallel between his story and Chozen's. If you've not watched Karate Kid Part 2, then a lot of this is probably going to go over your head. But it basically, Chozen, as he explained very briefly in the episode, is someone who was raised under a kind of tyrannical uncle, quite frankly, to believe that there was a certain way to build up honor and respect as a certain person. And then he was humbled by a student of Miyagi-Do, aka Daniel, all those 30 years ago. And like he said, it took him a long time to get past it and to get over it. In the movie, he was publicly embarrassed by Daniel, not once, but twice. And so, understandable that it took him a long time to get to a place where he could finally let go of that and move forward. But Silver, very much kind of feels that way in some respect. And that's kind of what Kreese also felt is, like they're all kind of coming from that mindset of we've all been humbled by Miyagi. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very interesting that, when he was kind of describing where he was coming from and Silver was talking about it, I'm like, your stories are actually kind of paralleled here. And there's actually room, if anything, for Chozen to be like, actually, we both kind of have the same beef, you know what I'm saying? With the same person in a way. There definitely would be a case, I guess, is my point for Chozen to want to get a little bit of revenge on Daniel. But we know he's gone past that. But I'm just saying, I think it's very interesting that they kind of brought up that parallel. But we'll have to see where it goes because Silver does not back down easily. We know that even in the third movie, it took quite a bit for him to finally back off. And as Daniel said, Chozen said there's a weakness, right? In the case of Chozen, his weakness was actually that he was fearful. He was very fearful. And in the movie Karate Kid 2, Daniel's bravery, by extension, exposed that weakness in Chozen. So we know that with Terry, I'd say for him, it's that he's still, like he was in Karate Kid 3, he's still this kid who's seeking approval from his dad, from Kreese. Like, he's not the most put together guy. Like, he's acting that way right now because he's got a mission and he's sober for once. But deep down behind all that, there is still that insecure kid who even way back in Vietnam couldn't even get the courage to leave the pen to go fight the way that the Vietnamese were trying to make him do. So yeah, that guy is still in there. They're just going to have to figure out how to expose it. But really, the calculated attempt to do it is exactly why they won't be able to do it. Something like that has to happen naturally, like in Karate Kid 2. Daniel didn't set out to expose Chozen. It just happened because Daniel was himself. And at some point, hopefully, Daniel will understand that who he is as a person, who Chozen is as a person, what Miyagi-Do represents, that will eventually expose the weaknesses in Silver. And I mean, we haven't even seen Kreese yet, so maybe that will help with it. But yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that Silver will be his own demise as he was in the third movie. So anyways, this was a fun episode. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and we will see you in the next video.